Here is something most job seekers do not know. The majority of CVs submitted to medium and large employers in 2026 are never read by a human being. They are screened, scored, and filtered by an applicant tracking system. An AI tool that decides within seconds whether your application moves forward or gets discarded. And most CVs, including many from highly qualified candidates, fail that screening before any human ever sees them. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to write a CV that passes the AI screening, impresses the human reviewer who sees it next, and gets you more interviews, regardless of your industry, your experience level, or how long you have been in the job market. There are 4 specific things you need to do differently from how most people write their CV. We are going to cover all 4 in order with specific and actionable guidance for each one. Quick note before we go further, I've put together a PDF guide that goes much deeper on everything we're covering today. It's called AI Proof Your Career, and the link is in the description below. Grab it now before you forget, then keep watching. The first thing you need to understand before anything else is how applicant tracking systems actually work. Because most advice about CVs is based on how hiring worked 10 years ago, not how it works now. An applicant tracking system, or ATS, is software that employers use to manage large volumes of job applications. When you submit a CV online, it is almost always parsed and analyzed by the system before a human sees it. The system looks for specific things, keywords that match the job description, the structure and formatting of the document, and whether the content signals relevant experience clearly enough to justify human review. The implications of this are significant. A beautifully designed CV with columns, graphics, icons, and creative formatting, the kind that looks impressive as a PDF, often fails ATS parsing completely. The software cannot read multi-column layouts reliably. It misses information that sits in text boxes or headers. It cannot interpret visual elements. What it can read is clean, clearly structured text with the right words in the right places. This means the first rule of writing a CV in 2026 is to optimize for the machine before you optimize for the human. A simple, clean, single-column format with clear section headings, professional summary, work experience, education, skills, will outperform a visually impressive multi-column design every single time when it comes to getting through automated screening. The second thing you need to do is optimize your CV for the specific keywords in each job description. And AI makes this faster and more effective than any previous method. Here is the exact process. Take the job description for the role you are applying for and paste it into Claude or ChatGPT. Then ask it to identify the 20 most important keywords and phrases, skills, tools, qualifications, and responsibilities that appear in the description. You will get a clear list in about 30 seconds. Then, review your CV and identify which of those keywords are missing from your current document. If you genuinely have the relevant skill or experience, but have not used the same language the employer uses, update your CV to match. This is not fabrication. It is translation, converting your real experience into the vocabulary the employer and their ATS are specifically looking for. Most candidates apply for multiple roles with a single generic CV. The candidates who get significantly more interviews are the ones who spend 15 minutes tailoring the keywords in their CV to each specific application. AI makes that 15 minutes extremely productive. The output is a document that speaks the employer's language precisely, rather than using your own vocabulary and hoping for an overlap. The third element, and the one that makes the biggest difference at the human review stage, is quantifying your achievements, rather than describing your responsibilities. Most CVs read like a job description: managed a team, responsible for client relationships, assisted with product launches. These phrases tell an employer what you were supposed to do, not what you actually achieved. And they look identical across hundreds of applications from people with similar job titles. The CVs that stand out at the human review stage answer a different question. Not what were you responsible for, but what changed because of you. How much did sales increase? By what percentage did you reduce processing time? How many people did you train? What was the size of the budget you managed? What did the team achieve under your leadership that it had not achieved before? If you struggle to quantify your achievements, which most people do because we tend to undervalue our own contribution, this is exactly where AI becomes most useful. Take your job title and a brief description of your responsibilities and ask Claude to help you identify the kinds of metrics and outcomes that people in your role typically achieve. Then match those prompts to your own experience and find the numbers that are genuinely yours. A single quantified achievement increased client retention by 22% over 12 months, does more work on a CV than 3 paragraphs of responsibility-based descriptions, and a CV with 4 or 5 of them reads as exceptional. The fourth element is your personal summary, the 2 to 4 sentences at the very top of your CV that most people either skip entirely or write in a way that wastes the most valuable real estate on the page. Your personal summary is the first thing both the ATS and the human reviewer engage with. It needs to do 3 things simultaneously. It needs to contain the keywords most likely to match the role. It needs to communicate your specific value proposition clearly and concisely. And it needs to sound like a human being wrote it, not a list of buzzwords. AI is exceptionally good at helping you write this. Here is the prompt structure that works. Tell Claude your job title, your years of experience, your 2 or 3 strongest skills, your most significant recent achievement, and the type of role you are targeting. Then ask it to write a professional summary of 3 sentences that is keyword-rich, specific, and avoids generic phrases like dynamic professional or results-driven individual. What you will get back is a draft that is significantly better than what most people write on their own, because it is structured around specificity and relevance rather than vague aspiration. Edit it to make sure it sounds like your voice. Verify that it is accurate and place it at the very top of your CV where it does maximum work. There is one more element that almost every piece of CV advice neglects, and it matters more in 2026 than it has ever mattered before. Add a dedicated AI skills section. This does not mean listing tools you have briefly tried. It means documenting the AI tools you genuinely use, the context in which you use them, and the outcomes they have enabled. Claude for research and writing, ChatGPT for analysis and problem solving, Canva AI for visual content, Coursera AI certificates you have completed, specific workflows you have built or improved using AI tools. Employers across every industry are actively looking for candidates who have already made this transition. A dedicated AI skills section signals that you are not someone who will need to be trained from scratch. It signals that you have already done the work that most of your peers have not. And in a field of otherwise similar candidates, it is a genuine differentiator. The AI proof. Your career guide in the description has the complete AI literacy stack breakdown, including the best tools to learn by industry, which makes building this section of your CV significantly easier. It is 14 pages and available as an instant download right now. Subscribe for new videos every Monday and Thursday, and drop a comment below. Which part of your CV are you going to work on first? I read every single one. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most people, because most people are waiting for someone else to figure this out for them You're not, and that matters more than you might think. The 5 steps we covered today are not complicated. They don't require a technical background or a career change. They require a clear picture of where you stand, a willingness to learn the right tools, and a decision to start this week rather than next month. Everything you need to take those first steps is in the guide linked below. It's 14 pages, it's practical, and it will take you less than an hour to read and act on. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for new videos every Monday and Thursday, and we'll see you in the next one.